Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Anthem. It's the game I don't want to talk about. It's the game that won't leave me alone. And here we are again. But the reason why I wanted to do this video is it once more highlights some very interesting things about the gaming industry and why games as a service, why live service games are failing miserably right now. And I do want to preface this video by saying this is rumour. This is rumour based off sources within EA. So that is the angle that I will be taking this from. I won't be taking this as absolute fact. This comes from MMOG Fails, but these are alleged sources within EA who are providing this information. And if true, and it kind of does sound likely to some degree, if true, does go along with what is actually happening in terms of the gaming industry today, particularly with your big AAA publishers and developers, etc. So first things first. Just a few nuggets of information from a source within EA. And as ever, I will link this in the description box down below. Go check it out in its entirety. Before I go into the article, EA have announced that Anthem will be at E3 this year. And I must say I am very worried for them. Because unless they are announcing at E3, and I'm being deadly serious here, I'm not even joking. If they don't announce at E3 that they are scrapping Anthem and restarting from scratch, I don't think anything they say will mean anything. I truly don't. And if you think, well, they can't scrap a game and start from scratch, they did it with Final Fantasy XIV. If they care, they would do it. Because Anthem appears to be fundamentally broken. Fundamentally broken. So unless they come out and say, look, we're going back to the drawing board with this, it's not good enough, and we'll keep you updated. Maybe even offer refunds to the people who have currently bought the product, or said when it re-releases, people who have purchased the product will obviously get it for free, which is what Final Fantasy XIV did. I purchased Final Fantasy XIV 2010, and when Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn came out, I was given it for free because I had made an OG purchase. If they go to E3 and they say something like, this is our roadmap going forward, I don't think anyone's going to give two shits. Because, unfortunately, words are cheap when it comes to EA. And now when it comes to BIOWARE. People don't believe you. Words mean nothing. What they're going to be interested in seeing is results. Tangible content, tangible product. So if they come out and do something wishy-washy like that, no one's going to give two shits. And let me get to the major thing here then. With that said, so this is allegedly from a source within EA. I was told that the leadership at BioWare, so bearing in mind this is BioWare communicating with EA, we're not meant to know this. This isn't information which is meant to be privy to us. The leadership at BioWare is actually blaming the players, their customers, and the vitriol they spew as the reason why the game is not selling as well as it should. They are also blaming EA for saying the game can be patched later because of the games as a service model. Neither EA nor BioWare expected the pushback and hostility they received for delivering a product in such an unfinished state while selling it for full price. Now let's just unpack this piece at a time. If they are legitimately, because of course this is rumour, if they are legitimately blaming the player for the poor sales, these people are deluded. Now, you could say, yeah, but what if people saw YouTube channels, you've got one as, that are talking about how poor Anthem is? That could put people off. It could. A few, maybe. I don't think YouTubers have the influence people genuinely think they have. YouTubers, I think, are more consumer advocates. We just say what we think is either worth getting or not worth getting. But, you know, very few, should I say, is actually saying, don't do it! You know, you're not going to be able to talk somebody into not buying a product if they're interested in it. I could say don't buy Anthem till I'm blue in the face, but if you have an interest and intrigue in that product, you're going to buy it regardless of what I say. Regardless of what I say. And I think they're also referring to Reddit as well, and the fact that the Reddit community is just laden full of this game's shite, there's nothing to do, etc., etc. But I say they have to be deluded if they think this is true, because you just have to look at the track record of Anthem, how it was put together, the Kotaku expose. The game itself was built within 12 to 16 months. When it was announced at E3 2017, what they showed was an on-the-rails cobbled together piece of footage. There was no game. There was no game back at BioWare. That was the model that they were now trying to work towards to achieve. And although the game was cobbled together in the last 12 to 16 months before its release cycle, because somebody actually started to make some decisions, you're never going to be able to create a truly working game in that period of time as an ongoing service. It's just not going to work. And it's been exposed on release. All the wallpaper, all the patches that you've stuck on to cover the cracks and the holes, all of it is falling apart because the game is a shell. There's nothing to do. It looks pretty decent. It looks pretty. The gameplay is okay. It's passable. But there's nothing to do. There's no structure. There's no real desire to push forward with the product. There's nothing to really aim for. The story's awful. The characters are awful. And it's a very mundane, boring experience. And it's been exposed for what it is. It's fundamentally broken in terms of the loot system. It was bugged to high heaven when it released. Level 1 weapons were the strongest in the game. You could take items off your javelin to make it more powerful because of the way that the power structure was working. It was a mess. The whole thing was exposed on release for a mess. Players didn't have any influence in that. The people who put it together did. And I'm not blaming the programmers. I'm blaming the developers and the management here. They're the people that failed this game miserably. Now, maybe they are trying to find some sort of solidarity with EA because of the whole Battlefield 5 debacle. And the players are uneducated nonsense. And the lack of pre-orders for Battlefield 5 because it seemed woke AF, I think is what the kids would say. It just seemed like a woke piece of nonsense with stories that retconned true lives, men that died. So pissing morons like this could spit all over their sacrifice to promote women and teenagers are the greatest and say, oh, this is our version of World War II. There is no your version of World War II. There is one version of World War II, and it claimed millions of lives. So they could make this trash. Oh, it makes me mad. It makes me mad. Again, it's just massive disrespect. Massive disrespect. So maybe they found some sort of solidarity with hashtag everyone's battlefield. Like it's a fucking Twitter party. 55 million people dead. Hey-oh! Selfie! Piss off, EA. So maybe they're trying to find some sort of commonality there with their overlords and masters. But I don't think so. And then we have what seems to be our suspicions confirmed, that Anthem actually sold less than 3.7 million copies. Which in itself as a number is very good indeed. But EA wanted 6 million by the end of March. 6 million in the 5/6 because of the early access release of the game. And it got nowhere near it. It got absolutely nowhere near it. Their roadmap for April, they couldn't deliver 95% of it. They only delivered a Stronghold. And that was it. And then their roadmap for May cancelled. The Cataclysm... delayed. Neither April nor May, by the way, have any release date of all the delayed content. Players didn't destroy Anthem. BioWare destroyed Anthem. BioWare's mismanagement, BioWare's terrible, terrible ideas when it came to the game, simply because it was developed as games for games as a service, live service, and that the only thing that means is milk players. Live service games and games as a service are not pro-gamer. Not at all. They are pro-developer. They are pro-publisher because they scam people. Unlike an MMORPG, which has set content at release and a lot of it, and then content added and added, games as a service, live services, they are created as a vacuous, empty shell with the promise that they will be added to as time goes on. And so people that buy into it, they've got nothing to do at the start. Barely a thing. They just sit there and wait for things to get added. It's not conducive to the gamer because they're always there strumming their bloody fingers, waiting for something. They got caught. BioWare got caught in their own web. They got caught in their own web and it's their own mistake. Anthem is burning. I don't think there's any way to repair it, like I said, unless they pull the whole thing down and start from scratch, which I don't think they're going to do. And good riddance to bad rubbish. That's all I can say. I've got no sympathy. None. So yeah, try and blame the players. Try and be as anti-consumer as you want, because that is what games as a live service is. That's what live services are in general. Show your true colours. Show us exactly who you are. If, of course, this is true. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links there in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Be seeing you